What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Scythe, and today we're going to be taking a look at Scythe? Scythe? I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to call it Scythe. But how y'all doing today, folks? Hope you're doing fantastically wonderful, and I hope this video makes your day even better. This is a very story-driven type of game, and very short, near as I can tell. So I'm not gonna, this is probably gonna be a very, very short video just to introduce you to the game itself. Kind of spoil a little bit of where you're actually supposed to go, and just mention a couple things that I've discovered with the story, while hopefully not spoiling too much that your game experience, if you end up deciding to get this game, ends up being ruined. So links will be in the description for everything, and let's get to it. Also, before we get started, folks, I want to give a shout out to the dev because they actually threw me a couple extra codes that we can give away today. So for your chance to win a code, just leave a comment in the comment section down below, and good luck. Chapter 1. I am Branna, the guardian of lost souls. In this magical book of life, I have hidden 3 feathers. By searching for my feathers, you will rediscover your forgotten past. Only when you know who you were, can you leave this life behind. I want to give a huge heads up, everybody, by the way, which hopefully this ends up getting ironed out with this game. So many technical difficulties with this game, it's crashing on me constantly. So I just want to give a heads up to everybody about that if you end up getting this game for yourself and you find that it's crashing, yeah, that's normal. I've already restarted the game 5 times now just to get it going, so hopefully we don't run into any issues. It seems to only happen during the loading screens rather than just during the game. So this is the main world right here. We are this specter, and we're gonna pick up our heart and click and drag it around so that we can actually control our character. In the top right, we click this and it says, Branna's voice call out as the clock chimed. Find my feather before the break of dawn, or the whole day's work will be lost and have to be redrawn. So this compass, it's not really a compass, it's actually more like a clock, right? And the sun is gonna start in the bottom left and kind of slowly cascade over into the bottom right. So if we take too long, of course, we're gonna have to restart the level. And don't worry, because there's different chapters. So if we go through this first chapter and get to the second one, then you're gonna be all good and gonna have a save file from that point, so it doesn't really, you just gotta get through each area as fast as possible. To begin, which is kind of weird because of how artistic this game is, to begin, you must paint this unfinished world into life, said the Raven. Find the buildings I've highlighted and paint them, then come back and we'll talk more. Okay, I'm down for that. And if we click this in the bottom left as well, pretty much it's just saying that there's a map, because that's the thing that's cool about this game is it's actually open world all on this island. Near as I can tell, all the chapters are on this island. I could be wrong about that. Just having you do different requirements in each, because I ended up getting to the second chapter off camera just so I could see, and it actually teleported us over here, but still on the same island. And we are not gonna have enough time to get that far today. Plus, like I said, I really don't want to spoil too much. So now we can go out into the world, and the fog is rolling in. It's beautiful coastal weather. Very, very nice and handy. Whoopsie daisy. So it's a little bit difficult to control your character here when you're going through each of these. Yeah, when you're grabbing each of these signs, you actually just have to hover your mouse over the different directions. But anyways, let's go over here and let's paint this beautiful building. I don't know why this happens. The first time through, yeah, there we go. So we're supposed to be painting it to be all beautiful, lush, and green. But for some reason, maybe it's just that it wasn't loading in properly. The latest few times that I go through this, it seems that the building is always just painting white. It's weird. A burst of color flowed from the building as the little spirit finished painting it as the magical ink flowed into the surroundings. Bloop. And there's a couple more buildings that we gotta end up painting before we end up getting to the next section, and we'll probably just do this, and then I'll give you a little bit of hints as to what ends up happening as you end up progressing further. But like I said, I don't really want to spoil too much of it. This in itself is already kind of spoiling where these buildings are, and the sense of discovery is a lot of what this game is about, I would say. Very much reminds me there was a movie that I ended up seeing called The Book of Kells, and that kind of really reminds me of what this is. So it's like just Celtic stories and stuff, and just like there's another one too, which might actually be what this one's based off of. I don't know if that's gonna be this story where a girl ends up turning into a seal. But that's, you know, I won't get into any of that lore because that could secretly end up being a spoiler to the story of this game. I don't know if they're going in that direction, but the thing that's really neat, because I'm just going to explain this now and we're not going to spoil it too much, but we ended up just reviving the whole town here, right? And time ended up skipping forward ahead. With the last building painted, the village of Carlin sprang into life. Birds flew through the air, and the villagers appeared as if waking from a deep sleep. Overhead, the raven flew by. Seek out the woman singing that sad song up high on the mountain. Sorsha is her name, and she saw one of my feathers. So what we would normally end up doing, which by the way, you can see that the world is actually very beautiful now because it's all painted in and there's no fog that we gotta deal with. But now what we would have to do is we're down here, we gotta go all the way to the top of the mountain, and then we have to paint a couple of these rocks that are kind of hidden around the map. They're on the mountain, and once you end up painting those, I'll give you a little spoiler right here, but we end up coming all the way back down here to grab the first feather, and then we get the memory that the woman that's actually on the top of the mountain, we were her daughter. So you're kind of discovering what ended up happening to your character because each of the memories that you have of them are all sad, at least as the first ones are, because I'm assuming it's more recent to whatever event ended up conspiring to your character. But you can see there's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then just the epilogue. So very, very short game. Keep that in mind. Either way, thanks for watching, folks. We're gonna call it here. We'd very much appreciate if you would like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Again, links are in the description. Show your support to the game. Hopefully they fix some of the crashes that happened at the beginning, but otherwise, it's pretty cool. Sayonara and stay epic.